What's up, Nintendo gamers? The Kid here with another Wii U update. There is a lot of news to go through, guys, so please pay attention. And most of this news is actually from Iwata himself, so let's get through it because there is a lot to go through, a lot to read. Some of this news is going to be shortened. So if you guys want to see the actual quote that Iwata gives, I'll have the description in the description, the link to the source material for you guys to read for yourself. So let's get started. And this is with Nintendo Network will be free, confirmed by Iwata. Now, this is a long quote, so I'll shorten it up with the big points. He says that we cannot promise here that Nintendo will always provide you with online services free of charge, no matter how deep the experiences are that it may provide. But at least we are not thinking of asking our consumers to pay money to just casually get access to our ordinary online services. And also, it goes on to say, we are not considering asking our consumers to pay periodic subscription fees. We are going to make it so that more software can be sold through the services, and that we are making preparations with the beliefs that results worthy in our investments can be achieved eventually. So both of these little sections that I cut out for you guys that I read, the first one, he's basically saying there's no guarantee that you won't have to pay for certain online services. Maybe Nintendo will have some type of exclusive things for the online services that you may have to pay for. Maybe that includes like getting certain games earlier than everybody else, maybe a week or so earlier, or just having more access to different things. Maybe Nintendo will have some type of elite or gold membership, something like that. They're not guaranteeing that there won't be something like that. So, but they also go on to say that if you just want to go online and just play a game online, no, there's not going to be any charge for that like Microsoft does. No, they're not going to do that. And also, they even, nod at what Microsoft does, and that is periodic subscription fees. No, they're not going to do that. But they are going to have more software to be sold through the services, which means full retail games to be able to be downloaded on the Wii U. They're going to offer that. But I think that's really, nice of Nintendo to have it that way. But I'm really, really interested in what he is saying about you can't guarantee that there won't be fees for certain online things, which means Nintendo could possibly be planning to have, like I said, memberships with special access and stuff, like a VIP access of things. So maybe so in the future. But as far as just getting online and playing a game and stuff, it's very nice that we won't have to pay for that. So with more news, again from Iwata, he confirms that more Wii U game announcements are coming this fall. So again, he says here it's a really big quote right here, and I'm trying to get where I had it marked. But he says that finally another issue is that the visibility of the future software lineup is unclear. During E3, titles for the overseas markets were highlighted, and the titles we introduced then were only the ones to be available at launch time and within the launch window period, which might make you wonder what will become of the software in the next year. It is our intention to convey a strong message this fall with the information about the price and launch date, and then create momentum good enough to convince our consumers to buy the Wii U. But currently, there must be some concerns overall. Overall, we believe that the current share price has been determined based on what I mentioned today. In the nearer term, with the introduction of the Nintendo 3DS XL, followed by new software titles in July and August, the most important issue is to what degree we can change the business momentum of the Nintendo 3DS in the world. Then, subsequently, when we launch the Wii U, we intend to announce the next step by saying what will happen in the future. And by doing this, we would like to change the evaluation in the market. So, Nintendo is planning basically to announce the this fall the of course the price and date of the Wii U, and that will probably be in a Nintendo Direct conference, probably in September. Because as I recall, I think there are usually Nintendo Directs in September. Why Nintendo waits to the absolute last minute to announce the date and launch time, I do not know. The launch and the price, I don't know. As far as game announcements, there it is possible within the whole, getting announced the date and the price, we could get a few games in there. But after the launch of the Wii U, there will be more announcements of game and projects. So, so anyone who's like, hey, what's Nintendo working on? They didn't announce anything really. Well, they're going to announce more soon in the future, so don't worry. More news. From Nintendo, and again from Iwata. He says Nintendo alone can't satisfy all customers and needs help from third parties. And here I have again a long quote. It says Iwata acknowledges that many people believe that no one used Wii U's capability as well as Nintendo, but doesn't feel it's fair to those who did use it well to claim that this is a general trend. Since game developers have many different strengths, some of them in creating breathtaking visuals and deep storylines, Wii's capabilities may not have been for everyone. And they're talking about the Wii, not the Wii U. Nintendo doesn't believe that all customers' needs can be met by one company, and is seeking to forge strong relationships with third parties in order to fill voids and assure a greater volume of quality content for the system. Iwata feels that the 3DS did a good job of letting third-party software shine at launch. That is completely untrue. Nintendo holds an annual game seminar for young developers that's been temporarily on hold due to the effects of the earthquake. And Nintendo is attempting to form more cooperative relationship with third parties, such as the Namco Bandai partnership for the next Smash Bros. Game. These relationships allow Nintendo development power to spread across more projects without overwhelming development resources. Nintendo doesn't try to cultivate people from other companies, but believes collaborative efforts can enhance both parties' strength and eliminate their weaknesses. So, if Nintendo wants to have more cooperative projects with other third party companies, say just like they're doing with Namco Bandai and Project Sora, two companies, a company that they own, basically. That's all good to me. I would love to see Nintendo and Activision work, or maybe Nintendo and Ubisoft work together. That's great. I mean, to make first party or new IPs, that's great. I think that's very welcomed, and I'm very glad that they're trying to have more bonds with different third parties. So I like to see how this works out in the near future for all of us Nintendo gamers. So there is more talk about the Miiverse moderation, and Iwata talks about this. And again, this is a very long quote, but I've shortened it to what the points are. The real good points are. It says Nintendo believes that the kind of people who will abuse Miiverse will constitute a very small percentage of users. However, Nintendo also intends to ensure that inappropriate and hurtful comments are removed promptly. Parental controls may also play a role in moderation. He can't reveal too much because people and what he's saying is he can't reveal too much about the whole moderation setup because people may more quickly experiment with ways Nintendo circumventing, I can't say that word, will experiment with getting away basically with doing inappropriate things with Nintendo's moderation methods. And if they know about it in detail, they will know how to surpass the moderation segments to moderate pictures and all that, and language. Nintendo is willing to incur financial expenses to ensure that Miiverse is a safe environment. Nintendo is concerned about intentionally spread negative campaigns designed to undercut their games, but does not believe in suppressing free speech and will rely on the wisdom of crowds or the idea that people generally have fair opinions and viewpoints to counteract these negative campaigns. So there are people who will just bash Nintendo games, and they're Nintendo fans themselves, but sometimes they'll see things that they don't like about a Nintendo game and then basically troll about it. You basically got a lot of that on GameFAQs right now. So that's Nintendo obviously knows that there are just abundance of trolls and little kids. I mean, look at Xbox Live. I mean, that's just a perfect example of what happens with a online community when there's really no moderation. You get people cursing, you get people trolling, you get people playing unfair, hacking, you get all that. So, I'm welcome to this. I just hope that whole 30-minute moderation thing just really kills it for me. I mean, I just think there has to be some better way. That's just ludicrous to me. But anyway, let's get back to more news. Iwata says Nintendo hardware and software pricing overseas is not affected by yen appreciation. He says no matter how strong the yen becomes, consumers in the U.S. have nothing to do with the fluctuation of foreign currency exchange, which means for them $100 is $100 and $200 is $200. Therefore, we can't raise the price of our product because the yen is more up. So basically, if like say something is $380 in one country or so, that doesn't mean it's going to be exactly $380 here in the US. So yeah, about the price, I still think probably 300 to 350. Anything above 350, like 400 is just really just that's raping people's wallets, Nintendo. So again, those who speculate that how much the Wii U will cost in other countries, no, he basically confirmed that doesn't mean that it'll cost that much in the U.S. if they put it in U.S. Currency. Again, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, please share this video with others, and of course, subscribe. So I can get to 1,000 subscribers. And also, source and links will be in the description for you guys to see for yourself. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next video.